In this video, I'm going to be comparing the temperature of shaded pole and PSC motors on fans. Shaded pole motors typically run hotter because they're less efficient, and PSCs usually run cooler and they're a lot more efficient. So I'm going to be doing this with several different types of fans. There's one that I'm going to be testing. That is a patent high velocity fan from the 50s, and that has a General Electric shaded pole motor. Then over here, this is a 90s Lakewood HV18 with a PSC Macmillan motor. Now, as far as PSC motors are concerned, those kind of run on the hot side for PSC motors. I do have a few other high velocity fans with PSC motors that I'm also going to be comparing in this test. And right here, I have a feeling this is probably going to be the hottest out of all of them. This is a Lakewood HV14 with a GE shaded pole motor. This thing gets extremely hot and it heats up in less than a minute. So it'll be interesting to see what the temperature reading is on that. And right here, this is a 1940s GE Vortelex. This one has a shaded pole motor. It is rated at, I think, 0.9 amps. Let me see. No, it's 1.1, so it's higher than I thought. But yeah, this one has a shaded pole motor, and then there's this bigger Vortelex right here. I'll show it to you. As you can see, it's larger. This one is rated at 0.8 amps, and that's because it has a PSC motor. And it runs extremely cool compared to the shaded pole motors. This is probably the coolest running motor that I've ever seen on a fan. So, here's my infrared thermometer. I had misplaced this for a while, but I found it today and put some new batteries in it. As you can see, it works. It scans continuously, so yep, I'll be using that. And I might compare that Lakewood HV14 with the PSC motor to that other one that I just showed you with that GE motor that gets really hot, because I'm pretty sure the temperature difference is going to be extreme. I'm also going to run this GE. This has a shaded pole motor. And then I'm going to run this new high velocity fan. This is a Ken Brown high velocity fan with a PSC motor, and we'll see how hot it gets. So I'm going to start these up real quick. Alright, here we go with the GE. I'm going to turn it all the way up to high. And I'll turn this one on high too. Alright, I'll start the Vortelexes up. I think I'm going to run them on medium. I don't really want to run anything on high down here in the basement. It's too dusty. So these start out on low. Go up to medium. And we'll start up the big 1, 2. And over here, I got the Lakewood HV18 and the HV14. Start this up on medium. Go medium with this one. I don't think these are really doing anything yet. No, it's barely warm. And that one's like pretty much room temperature. Here's an HV12 with a GE motor. This thing's been running for a while. Let's see what the temperature is on the stator. It's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. Still pretty warm. That's where we're at on the GE box fan. Right on the stator. This one really hasn't warmed up much. Looks like we're topping out at 86. Here we are back down in the basement. That's what we're running at with this one. Trying to get it right on the line band. This one's definitely running cooler. This one's not really that hot yet. And that one is still pretty cool. It's been about 20 minutes. The hottest temperature I ever recorded on a shaded pull motor was about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And that was on a General Electric slimline box fan from the 60s. That thing gets extremely hot. But I don't know if that's going to get as hot as I thought it would. I mean, it's still burning hot when you touch it, but I don't know if it's going to get up to 180. We'll see. If I point this at the stator on this McMillan motor, you can see it's running about, it's hard to get it in line, about 108 degrees max, compared to 139 over here. Back of the motor housing is only about 95. This one, definitely hotter. It's been about a half an hour. Let's check on these again. This one's really not running that hot. I'm kind of surprised. That's running pretty cool. Of course, this one really isn't all that hot either. So it tops off about 91. Alright, I think we're at operating temperature now. Topping out at about 113 on the stator. This will be topping off at about 91 on this one, so that's still running pretty cool. Probably up to operating temp over here as well. That's what we're getting up to on the little Vortilex with the shaded pull motor. Pretty sure that 3-bladed Vortilex that I have and the quiet blade get a little bit hotter than this one does, but yeah, these for shaded pull motors, these things run pretty cool. And then there's this one. You can see it's really running cool compared to this one. And we're topping off around 140. 141 right there. Not as hot as I thought it was going to be, but I think this is the hottest out of all the ones that I've tested today so far. And this one, back of the motor housing is about 100. And the stator, it's kind of hard to get it through the grill, but just over 100 degrees for the stator. That's not bad. Yeah, a little bit hotter than I thought, 112. But it's definitely running cooler than this one is. Just shut this one off. I want to see if the temperature rises a little bit because there's no more airflow. Yeah, it's reading, I think it's reading a little bit hotter than it was when it was running. And that's just because there's no more airflow going over it. It'll start cooling down soon. So I'm going to test this one now, and another HV18 that's actually from the same generation as this one. This is an HV14. Alright, got the last fan set up that I'm going to be testing. Here's the 1950s patent. I'm going to run it on medium. This one gets pretty hot to the touch. And it kind of makes noise when it's coming up to speed, but that goes away. And then we got the HV18 and the HV14, both with PSC motors. This one also has a PSC motor. This is a 2.5 amp. That black Lakewood HV18 that I was testing before was a 2.4 amp. And this, I think this is a 1.5 amp. And the GE motor on that HV14 is a 3.3 amp. Alright, let's start them up on medium. Yep, it's right where it was before. So that one's at operating temp. And that's about as hot as this one's gonna get. I think I'm gonna start this one up and run it for a little while. This is a 0.9 amp. Shaded pull motor of Wardle X, and I'm going to run it on high because it doesn't run very good on any of the other speeds. It kind of slows down. So here's high. I brought the 3-blader down to the basement so I don't have to keep running up and down the stairs, and so I can keep an eye on it. So that one's running now. Here's this one. It's been about 8 or 10 minutes. Trying to get it directly on the stator. Alright, these are both at operating temperature. Let's see what this one's at. Looks like it's topping off around 109, I think I saw. The back of the motor housing on these doesn't get, as you can see, it doesn't get too hot, but when it hits the windings, the temperature goes way up. And here's this one. Again, the motor housing itself isn't very hot, but if we point this at the stator, It's kind of hard to get at it with this one. Hang on a second. Alright, we're topping off around 110 on this stator. So these actually run hotter than I thought they did. Because I was always just, feeling the back of the motor and assuming that they run really cool. Because this is barely warm to the touch, but stator is a different story. This is running at pretty much the same temperature as that Macmillan motor was on the Black Lakewood. And then there's these two. Yeah, this one's pretty hot, just like I thought it would be. Topping off around 135. It's about the same as that HV14 over there with the GE motor. $138 it went up to. So this one is probably the hottest. I think the other one was around 135 to 140. And then there's this one, about 114. Actually, that's right on 114. So this one definitely runs hotter than the motor in that Vortex over there. Go ahead and turn these off. Yeah, it was kind of hard to get the stator temperatures on these because of the close together grills, but these are running at about 110, maybe a little bit hotter than that, but that's what they topped off at. Here's the reading I'm getting right now. Again, it's kind of hard to get it lined up properly with this one, but it was over 105, so yeah, you get the point. Let's test this one again. Yeah, this one got pretty hot. That's about 140. And that one got pretty hot too. So, out of all the shaded pull motors, the hottest running ones were that Patton with the GE motor and that Lakewood HV14 with the GE motor. The coolest running shaded pull motors, this one in the turquoise Vortex and the GE turquoise box fan that I had running. Those are the coolest running shaded pull motors. But yeah, this one, that one, and this one not so much. But yeah, these two high velocity fans were definitely the hottest running shaded pull motors. And then as far as PSC motors are concerned, the coolest running was this GE Vortex right here. That barely even got warm. And the Lakewood with the Macmillan motor was pretty much on par with those Lakewoods. And that's pretty much it for this video. As you can see, PSC motors definitely do run cooler overall, although it really does depend on the motor itself, because this shaded pull Vortex right here ran cooler than some of the PSC motors. So, like I said, it depends on the motor. But overall, yeah, the shaded pull motors get quite a bit hotter than the PSC ones do, especially this one and that HV14.